Hello, welcome back to our coverage of the UN Climate Talks. Sorry to interrupt your enjoyment of Fossil of the Day there, but rest assured you'll be able to hear today's in the background whilst this interview goes on. Delighted to welcome Elliott Verreault, who is founder of itsonehumanity.org. So we're going to find out a little bit about It's One Humanity and also about your motivations for getting involved and starting this initiative. But perhaps first I should find out why you're interested in climate change. What is it that got you kind of passionate about this as a subject?
All right, well, I came to know about this whole process last year in December when I followed Copenhagen, so COP15 online through webcasts, through oneclimate.net and things like that. So following online as much as I could. I was writing exams at the time. I should have been studying, but I was really hooked onto my computer watching things. And I think what brought me to be so interested, I am interested in climate change, obviously, but what really got me hooked to it about the negotiations and everything, it was really COP15 for the first time ever in history. You would get all the prime ministers and president meeting for this issue that's really, really, truly global, that's going to affect us all. And they come to the same table to negotiate and hopefully reach an agreement, which didn't happen. But basically what got me interested and what got me maybe active in projects related to COP15, COP16 was its failure, I guess, and just seeing how diverging national interest can just make such a process collapse. And I thought that was so sad in some sense. I guess I was really disappointed, like many other young people, because I thought, climate change is a global issue. We're all in this together. We're all going to be hit by it, one day or the other. And basically, I guess the best image I could give it would be, when you look at planet Earth from space, you won't see any national borders. They just don't exist. They're a purely man-made abstract concept. But when it comes to tackling climate change, we're still tackling it from a very divided nation-state's point of view. And I thought that makes sense. Of course, we can't change that. But what I thought we could maybe do is just shake things up a little and remind world leaders and those negotiators who are to make decisions on this issue that, basically we're all in this together. And if, I'm from the east coast of Canada, if ever there's sea level rises in east coast of the United States, it's not going to stop at the border of Canada. It's just not, it's not going to happen. So I thought we should shake things up a little. I met with other young people who thought the very same. They said, it makes no sense. Climate change is a truly global issue. We're all in this together. It's only one planet. It's only one humanity. And we said, isn't there something we could do about it? And that's where, I met other young people. We talked about it. Our very first idea was to do a petition. But petitions, they're sort of boring. We get them in our mailboxes all the time. We don't really respond to them because, it's always the same. It's words and numbers. People don't really care. It's just black and white. It's kind of boring. But our answer to that was, let's try to make it visual. Let's give it, because most of the time when you get a petition, you can't really relate or, understand the difference between 100 supporters and 1,000, or between supporters only in Cancun, Mexico versus like a true global movement. So we said, let's make it visual. And we did that. And doing that, it generated quite a bit of interest. But in the process of doing that, we had in our system what seemed to us very insignificant section of the petition, which was add a comment section, and we weren't advertising it or anything. But people started not only responding to our manifesto, but actually, adding their own personal taste or personal twist to whatever message they wanted to give. And we saw those messages coming in massively from all over the world in different languages, and that's where we thought that's the true value of our platform. And that's what we need to bring to COP16 and the other COPs.
So what have you got now? You've got this a database of kind of comments and commitments from around the world?
Yeah, so that's it. It's a database. We have their names, location, then their message, their age, and we're collecting that. We're coming here to COP16. We're making this available to all of our partners if ever they need to do a climate actions or whatever. So we're going very open source about it. But basically that's it, and all of those messages are represented on a map. For the moment it's in 2D, but we're working on making the platform more, adding value to it, if you can say, so adding maybe more media, make it 3D or something. So we're working on that, but for the moment it's a 2D map where you can zoom in, zoom out, figure out where the supporters are, and read their messages, and yeah.
So it's great to hear that you kind of within the space of a year you've kind of become engaged in the issue and then got up and decided to do something about it. And what's the kind of what's the response been like here in Mexico, working with partners, and you're actually at the talks? Have you found it to be kind of, what's your feeling about the movement? Is it kind of vibrant and pushing forwards, or is it still suffering from a bit of a hangover in Copenhagen? How do you feel about being here now?
I feel, that's the thing. I feel the youth is very united on this issue, and we're seeing it through our platform, where I'm seeing it personally here, just seeing all the actions and everything. So I think that's great. We can feel that, absolutely. In terms of, we've actually produced short reports with our petition, and we would do, sample messages, the map, the number of supporters, the manifesto, customized in the language of the country and deliver them to each of the nation states. So that's been good. But just hearing the speeches, the opening speeches and the words they've used, it felt like it was us, we've written that, So I think that might have had an impact, hopefully, we hope so. And that's it. For our delivery here basically was reports, and at the Mayan Pyramid of Hope right here, we have a TV setup where we showcase some of the messages from young people with their age, their names. So it's very personal, and it's a way for people outside of COP to get inside and really make their voices heard.
So what would you like to be saying to me this time next year, presuming we're at these talks? Where would you like It's One Humanity to be? What's your vision for the future?
Okay, what I think has changed, because now coming here, I understand the process a lot better. Then, you can learn about it as much as you want from the outside, but it's never the same. But now I think for the next year, we'll focus our energies maybe more on the capitals throughout the years. So throughout the year, So then producing those reports, but sending them to the capitals itself instead of relying on the negotiators here, but being here to remind them of what we send. So we'll go probably very creative. We have a lot of ideas, the people on my team, to come here to remind them of the reports we've created, and just to grow it and make it probably the largest database of young people for climate justice, and hopefully have an impact.
It sounds positive. Elliott, thank you very much for joining us. It's been really good to speak to you.